I will say it's been a really crazy 6 months. Like, it's to the point where I, like, sometimes sit here and I'm like, "Did that really happen to me? Like, am I really have I really changed that much from January to July?" And it's like, yeah, like, I've literally my life has changed from being a single man in the military, not working out, eating like shit, not being very happy, to someone who takes 18 hours a semester, is happy, can fit in, that wants to fit in working out, that wants to fit in time for uh outdoor activities and doing things with a girl that I love and all this stuff. Like, I like it's my life has changed in 6 months, and it's like it feels like it's been 2 days.
Yeah, like you especially, you follow this thing to the T,
Yes.
stuck with it, and if you do that, you can transform your life and do a complete 180 in 6 months.
That's what I wish people would like grasp with this one, is like I've been through Gallagher's, is that his name? Gallagher something. He had like a fitness thing back when I was in high school, and I tried to follow it. It was so time consuming, whatever. And then I've tried to do another one through the military, and it was like the boxing and the working out that I did when I was in DC. I just couldn't get into it. But this one, it was like I feel like you have to reach a point of like almost a point of like I am so unhappy with myself and where I'm at in my life that if I could just fix one thing, it's gonna make all these better. And for me, this was my one thing that I was incredibly unhappy about. And I changed it from me being unhappy with the way that I looked and the way that I felt into how well and how happy and how fulfilled my life is. And I did all of that in 6 months.
Yeah,
And that to me speaks volumes of not just the program, but of like your business. Like that's what it ensues, is a healthy lifestyle, somewhere that's going to lead you to a path of success, not only in your physical life, but it's going to help your social life, your mental health, your uh if you have depression, it'll help that. It'll help all these things. And if you can fix all of these things, everything else will just start fixing itself, because you're no longer in the state of mind that you were in 6 months ago.
it all starts in the fitness, man.
Yeah. And that's for me, like this. That's why I recommend this program to anybody. December or so came around, and I was about to start school, and I wanted to get back into the gym because genuinely, I just was not. I started thinking what I looked like when I was 18. I just remember going by the mirror and being like, damn, I look good. Like I have abs, or I
Yeah.
look in shape at least. And I felt in shape. And so I wanted to get back to that. And genuinely, I just so happened to be scrolling through Facebook, and you're where I guess we had became friends on Facebook at some point. Your thing just popped up on my feed, and I was like, shit, like I know who he is. It's his workout program. I know from my experience with you that it's not going to be like a BS program. It's going to be somebody who's like, if you're trying to make a business, I know that your business is going to be well set up. It's going to have a lot of thought put into it, and it's going to be made to benefit not only you but everyone else who comes into the program. Just because I mean, we spent 8 weeks together in a confined space. Like, you
Yeah.
can't not get to know somebody.
Yeah.
And even if we didn't always get along, it was still like, because I mean, dude, you ever hung out with a friend for longer than 3 days and just been like, I don't want to hang out with this, even though he's my best friend?
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
like that. Like, yeah, we didn't get along at some points, but it's just like you still know who that person is, and we're still friends to this day. So it's like even if we didn't always get along, we still knew we were friends.
I don't
And
think me and
so
you ever had
I
something.
don't I don't think me and you ever
No.
did. if it was something small, but I know
Yeah.
we had like all the other stuff happening outside
Yeah.
of us. And so I just can't remember who it was all with,
Yeah.
um but I just was genuinely wanting to get back into the gym, fill my time up with something, and I came across your thing, and you had some deal going on at that time for like 5 people. And I was like, well,
Yeah. It was the free spots.
it was the free spots where you paid up front, and then if you follow the program, you got your money back.
Yeah.
And so I was like, well, I was just talking about how I wanted to get back into the gym, and this is right here. So I was like, screw it, I might as well do it. And I at least knew, I know other people may not be able to have the same experience as this, but I at least knew if I signed up under your business, I would stick to the program, because I knew that if I didn't do what was asked of me, it would affect your business. And whether I look at it from a business transaction or a friendship transaction, then I just know that if I don't do this, I'm going to be letting you down, and I'm going to be letting your business down.
Yeah.
And so I knew that that program would be good for me, because of that reason. It would make me go in, it would make me get into the gym. It would make me, if I missed a day, I'd make it up in the following week. Or, oh, my friends are wanting to go out and drink. Well, I'm not going to do that because I'm in this program. Or if I do go out and drink, I'm drinking like a vodka tonic, or I'm drinking something that doesn't have anything bad, or like anything bad in it, like beer. Like I wouldn't sit there and drink beer. Um, and so uh pretty much went through the program step by step, 4 times a week, I believe it was. And it was hard at the beginning. Pretty sure I shared that information with you at the very end of it, where I was benching like 115 or something, like a few times, and squatting like 135 a few times. And then by the end of it, my max was 225 on bench one time, and like 280 or 270 on squat.
Mhm.
So in 16 weeks, those are the results that I was able to go from,
Yeah.
at least weight wise, on working out. Was it hard? Yes. You do have those moments where you don't really want to go into the gym, but at the end of the day, it's like, you signed up for it, you paid for it, why not do it? And then if you don't do it, I guarantee you're going to feel worse about not going than if you just went and didn't get that good of a workout.
Yeah. I mean, like I talk about that, even the top guys in the world, it's not all sunshine and rainbows. There's days where they don't feel like going, but it's like, how I wrote before, choose your hard or choose your pain. Like, the pain of regret or the pain of discipline, and, getting a
Yeah.
good workout, being sore. It's just like, choose it. Choose your
And
battle.
then I believe it was, and if this gets shared with anybody, this is the part that I want them to know, is that I didn't see night and day in a month. I didn't see like, oh, I look so much different from day 1 to day 30. No, I didn't. Maybe you will, maybe you won't. I didn't see that. I seen change about a month and 3 weeks
It's usually a good
after
time frame.
after my after I started day 1. A month and 3 weeks from that day, I remember looking at myself and being like, now I'm starting to see definition. Now I'm starting to lift heavier weights. Now my body is starting to get that, like that V frame or whatever it is, A frame,
taper. Yeah.
whatever it is.
Yeah.
I'm starting to get that. I'm starting to see the muscles in my chest. If I flex, you can see them roll up your whatever this is. And starting to see muscles that I didn't really see. One thing I'll say is I felt like at the beginning, my front side was significantly stronger than my like back and
Yeah.
stuff.
Yeah.
And that for me, I would suggest people really focus on back days, because there got to a point where I was squatting and it started hurting my lower back because and I was doing correct form, because I'm very strict on form.
Yeah.
But it was because I was doing so much weight and my lower back is not as strong as my legs. So even though my legs could do it, my back would hurt. So don't skip on a back day just because it doesn't, I guess, get the ladies or whatever. Like your abs get the ladies, your big biceps get the ladies, whatever. But my back was just not strong enough, and you need your back to be able to hold up that weight when you're benching, to hold that weight when you're squatting.
Yeah.
And so that for me is like what I guess I didn't do as much, as like back days for me were more like I can kind of take this day and not go as hard as every other day. Where I suggest back days need to be easily one of your hardest days. Every day should be a hard day, but
Yeah.
your back day really needs to be focused on correct form. When you're doing that pull up, go all the way down, like keep those arms stretched out and then pull yourself up. Don't do one of these where you're going like right here and you get this bend. No, you want it to be like here, and so you get that full pull up, which is a pull up. Like that for me is where I felt like I might have failed the program a little bit, is because I didn't, my off day in working out was my back day.
Yeah.
And so and then after that month and 3 weeks of seeing progression, it only got better from there. I was seeing a significant amount of progression every week after that, every month after that. And I never, for me, other people may not, I never hit a stopping point.
Yeah.
But that's because I hadn't worked out for 4 years. Somebody who's worked out for 4 years straight, they're probably going to reach those barriers of, I can't get past this weight and I have to work out longer to get past this weight. For me, it was, oh, I'm at this weight this week. Oh, wait, I'm at a new weight next week. I'm at a new weight the following week. I'm doing 155 this week, six to eight times, whatever it was for the bench portion, 6 to 8 times. And next week I'm on 165. The next week I'm on 175. The next week I'm on 185. The next week I'm on 195. Like it was, I never slowed down. I had to actually make myself slow down because I didn't want to injure myself just because I was able to do all that weight.
Yeah.
I didn't want to injure myself by my body not being used to benching 185 8 times. It was like I cut it off at 185 for like the last 3 weeks of the program.
Yeah.
Because I was like, if I go much higher, I'm going to be doing 208 times for 4 sets or whatever it was. And I don't think my body's used to that kind of weight. And I really don't want to tear like a muscle here, like your pec muscle or anything. So I slowed down. But I just personally never reached a stopping point. I never had dang, like I just can't seem to get this one that many times. It was never like that for me.
You just kept going. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
And that's
awesome,
and for me, that's like a good workout program for somebody like me, because most people hit those plateaus and they can't reach that. For me, I never did it. So I always felt like I was achieving the next step of my goal. So it kept motivating me to go in the next week. I can't wait for chest this next week. I can't wait to do squat this next week because I'm going to be able to do that much more weight.
Yeah. Your fitness journey aspect of it and how it became like part of your lifestyle, and how the confidence that you had with your new body helped you achieve that. What part of the fitness journey did you end up meeting her? How did it all just kind of,
Okay. So I was never, I mean, I was always kind of a person that was like extroverted and talked to really anybody. Like, I was always a talkative person. Especially when I looked as good as I did. But I'll say that like when I got back home, it was very like I didn't really talk to many people, and I'm not sure if that was like a military thing or like just like maybe I had lower confidence or whatever, but I definitely see a difference now, and I could say that at least part of it was confidence. And so I guess if I would have started in January sometime, I met her in February on the Super Bowl. That's the day we met.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
we met on the day of the Super Bowl, and we went to eat out at a restaurant, and then went to like a Super Bowl party. Um,
Was it through like mutual friends or just
so
out?
we both go to school at Western, and we're both business majors. So she's like a finance major and I'm an accounting major. So we're in the same
Oh, I see.
building. And
Yeah.
so we kind of just connected that way. Um, because all the classes are like right there. So we always go to the same classes and stuff like that. And so we kind of just hit it off. And I guess like I don't know, it's hard to say. Like I definitely like if I can't really show a picture of her because it's like hard to do that on here, but like
Yeah.
she is
Then that's in
someone.
the written testimonial though.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it is. So it's on Facebook if anybody wants to see what my girlfriend looks like. But um she is in my eyes still like she is out of my league. Like genuinely, she is a phenomenal looking woman. And so for me to be able, because I guess when I first started the working out, it made me feel more confident. It made me feel as if like I could get the girl that I wanted to get.
Yeah.
And so when I see her and I talk to her and stuff like that, it wasn't like I know she's out of my league, but I'm not gonna act like she's out of my league. Like I know that I look good too. I might not look as good as she does because let's be honest, she looks great, um, but like it helped in the sense that I didn't feel like I wasn't deserving, quote unquote, deserving of a
Mhm.
woman that was that pretty. And then the other part is like I know there's more things to being pretty, but from a guy's standpoint, the first thing you pay attention to is
Yeah.
how pretty a girl is. That's what attracts a male to a female.
Hmm.
And so that is what my first thing when I noticed her, it was like, oh, she's very, very pretty. And she turned out to be like a cheerleader at Western. And it still astonishes me that you watch movies and stuff like that where the best player on the football team is like dating the cheerleader or whatever, and you're just
Yeah.
like, and I'm like, I'm a nobody. Like I'm a dude that just got out of the military, like 22 years old, 23 years old, getting an accounting degree, and this cheerleader wants to date me.
Yeah.
And huge confident booster that is. I mean, that makes
I'll
me
say.
feel like I could conquer the world, but I would have never been able. I probably would have never been able to push that along without uh going into this workout and reaping the benefit because we would have met about the month and 3 week period of when I started and when I started seeing those results because I was talking to a different girl before her
Hmm.
that was out of my league or not out of my league was like below my league,
Yeah.
like easily just not as pretty, and I felt like I was settling. And when I started working out, I realized that, oh, there are other pretty girls. There are other more pretty girls out there that probably have the same uh inside that I'm looking for, but are 10 times prettier.
Yeah.
And so I went out and I just cut it off with the other girl and was just like, let's just try to go, let's just try to like find somebody that's what my standard is,
Hmm.
not settling for something else. And she beats my standard by a million. But um, I would have never been able to probably do something like that if, or been confident enough to know that I could land a girl that is that pretty and feel comfortable dating someone like that. Because the other side is if you're ugly and you date a girl like that, you're going to have that in the back of your mind that I'm not pretty enough for this girl. I'm not whatever. And while I understand that she's way out of my league, it's also like I know that I'm good looking enough and my body's good looking enough and I have a good enough personality and whatever that I feel confident enough to date someone like her.
Hmm.
Um but when I first met her, I was in that fitness journey of January to May, April, May, sometime around that. Um, And the number one thing for me was it gave me a workout partner because she works out all the time. She enjoys legs and I hate legs. She,
That's all girls, dude. They love
dude,
legs and we hate legs, and they hate upper body. We love upper body. It's just like that's
it's
the way it is.
it's fucking yin and yang. And so any
Yeah.
day I didn't want to do legs, she would make me do legs because that's what she wanted to do. And she would never get on a squat rack if I wasn't at the squat rack. And so it was just it was a good mix of opposites there. And she motivated me to get into the gym on days that I maybe didn't want to or felt like uh I could do it later in the week, but I had time to do it now. She stayed on my ass about that kind of stuff and making sure I got in the gym. And even if it took away from her and my time, it was, you still need to go to the gym. Like, you told this person you were going to do this. And that's the part I was going to talk about is, if you are going on this, you need to have a support system. You need to have people who are going to hold you accountable, because like, you can only do so much. You weren't in Tennessee or Kentucky with me. You weren't making me go to the gym. You weren't able to make sure every day that I was supposed to be in the gym that I was in the gym. Now, me and you talked a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Not saying you didn't talk to me a lot, because you did, and you made sure that I was comfortable in what I was doing, making sure that I was, my intermittent fasting was helping me, making sure I was following it right, and make sure that it wasn't affecting my life more than benefiting it. So you did a bunch of stuff for me, but you couldn't sit there day in and day out and be like, did you go to the gym today? Did you go to the gym today? Did you go to like, you couldn't do something like that. So um it helped me having a support system, and part of it was my family and part of it was her. And so if you're gonna go down a fitness journey, tell people, tell your close friends. You don't have to share it to the entire world that you're about to do something, because then it feels like, I don't know, I feel like at that point you're just doing it for reasons other than you. And
Mm-hmm.
you need to be, in order for you to keep that motivation going, you need to be able to want to do it for you, not for other people. And so, but you need to talk to other people, let them know what you're about to do, make sure that they hold you accountable, make sure that they know you need to be eating healthy, know you're not going to drink a lot, know that you're not going to want to stay out till 2 o'clock in the morning drunk and then go and get cookout, because cookout's the best thing you can eat when you're drunk. So like,
Oh yeah, we all know that.
you need friends and family and stuff around you that are going to not hold you back. They're going to push you forward
Mm-hmm.
um and along in your journey, so that you can like excel in something that you genuinely are trying to do. And she was very helpful in that time, and made sure that I did all that stuff. And we anytime I visited her, because uh she lives up in Louisville, she goes down here during the school year, but she lives in Louisville. And so we even when I was up there, she was like, what days are we going to the gym when you're up here? So we would plan our days on that. We would plan meal prepping. We would sit there on a Sunday afternoon and cook all night for breakfast, lunch, and dinner every week, or at least lunch and dinner, and make breakfast in the morning. We would or morning, I say, is like, we didn't eat till noon, but
Early
and
afternoon, yeah.
yeah. So we would make it in the morning because we couldn't just go home and eat. And she even did it with me. Like, she even did part of the program with me. Like, she started intermittent fasting. She wasn't able to follow it as good as I was, because I'm incredibly disciplined, but
Mm-hmm.
she still followed it as good as she could.
It's also a little bit different for girls too.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not going to get too deep into the science of it. It's just something to do with like the hormones, like between
Mm-hmm.
testosterone and estrogen and all that. But it is different for girls. Like they get hungry like
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
because they have to, think about, they have to nurse a kid,
Yeah.
in that time. So that's why I'm mainly focusing on guys and
Yeah.
the guys niche. But no, that's amazing how, it all, like, she was just there to support you and hold you accountable, because, I gave you everything that
You
you
gave
need.
me all the tools to be successful. It's whether I
Yeah.
utilize those tools or not.
But I can't physically be there to
Mm-hmm.
push you all the time. Would you say now, since it's been a few months, Do you think she's more attracted to you now? Because you've obviously your physique has gotten better. With that, your charisma gets better too. Would you say that she's more like,
Yeah, so she always tells me, because like when we're like I usually like walk around the house without a shirt on or whatever because like I'm in my own home or whatever.
mhm,
And she always tells me, like ever since I was on the program, she thought I looked good when I first met her, but that was like a month and 3 weeks or so after I had been working out. And then I went on the additional time, and then now I've picked up something else, and we went out to the beach and I looked really good. And before we went on the beach, she always, and even after now, she still just jokes about how she needs me to stop looking so good so that other girls don't look at me, because we were just at that same place. We keep eating at that restaurant. The restaurant is really good. Went to
mhm.
that same place with my mom the other day, us two and my mom, and I told Addison, I told her, I was like, why does that waiter keep, or waitress keep looking at you? And I was like, do you know who that waitress is? Like, whatever, because she keeps looking at you. And she goes, she waits like 15 minutes. I've completely forgotten that I'd even asked her that. And she goes, you're stupid because she keeps looking at you. And I was like, ah, good grief. Now I'm gonna have to get an argument over this in the car. But it's she, and then she'll joke about how like I need to stop looking so good because I have changed tremendously from when I first met her to where I am now. And and she's like, I like, especially like in the mornings when we wake up and I'll get up and I'll like brush my teeth or whatever, and you haven't eaten in forever and
Yeah, the
you're,
morning skinny, bro. That's what
dude.
fasting does.
And she's like, see, this is what I'm talking about. You can't be walking around looking like this. Like, you can't do that. You can't do that to me. Like, no matter what, you have to keep a shirt on. And then I'm like, I'm a lifeguard. And she's like, you can't wear a shirt. And I'm like, no, I'm not wearing a shirt as a lifeguard. And she's like, okay, well, they can look, but nobody touches. And I'm like, no shit.
Yeah.
But she does really think that she finds me very attractive for, I guess, like how, I guess more than likely she finds me, one, I think you start to grow towards somebody a lot more and you start finding them more attractive as time goes because you are with them more and you've learned them more and whatever. But I can tell you that she more than likely sees a big difference from when we first met and where I'm at now. And she's probably, I can definitely tell you that she thinks I look a lot better than I did, because she never made those jokes when we first met.
Yeah.
It was always like, yeah, you look good.
Mhm.
Yeah, like you, I like the way you look. And then now it's like, yeah, you can't just walk around like that.
Yeah.
So there's a tremendous change in the way that I look and how she sees me. It's enough that she doesn't like when I go be a lifeguard.
Yeah. But that's such a confidence booster though,
Oh,
too.
it is.
Someone that you're super into and you think is just like, amazing, thinks the same thing about you and like
Yes.
just boost your confidence by because obviously the amount of progress that you've made,
Oh yeah.
uh, it's just it just makes you want to go back and work even harder and just get
Yeah.
strong.
Yeah. I never want to take time off like I did for those 3 weeks. Like, it's going to be more of a weekend or a few days or something like that, because I don't want to, like, I don't want to go back to feeling like I'm making myself get in the gym. I want it to be always be, oh, I can't wait to get into the gym this week or this day or whatever, which is for me, the 16-week thing was really good for me to get myself back into the gym. But I can tell you that I'm going to have to, I get very, it's not complacent, but it's like I get very like done with things quick. So like me just going into the gym is not like a thing that I want to do. Like, I don't want it to be like I only go to the gym. I want it to be like, oh, I have boxing this day. Oh, I get to go to the gym on Tuesday. I have boxing the next day. I get to go play golf on Wednesday, that's my rest day, but I'm golfing all day
Yeah.
and whatever. Like I have to have that variety in my life for me to not get complacent or bored or like, why am I even doing this anymore? Like whatever the case might be.
That's the whole point of the program, is to make it part of your lifestyle, but not make it a lifestyle in itself.
Yes.
Not going to the gym 6 or 7 days a week, eating like a bodybuilder, doing all that.
Yes.
You just, it's an hour a day for 3 or 4 days a week, so you can incorporate it into your busy life, and where it doesn't really get in the way of anything, and keeps you at top shape. And so you would say that this lifestyle changed over the 16 weeks, that you're going to incorporate this
Oh
for
yeah.
the rest of your life, like you don't see yourself ever going back.
No, I see this at least lasting till I'm like when I think about the working out and everything like that, I can see it lasting until to a point where my kids are probably like 10 or 11, and then maybe me trying to pick up something that's less strenuous on my body so that I'm not getting worn down and I have more time for my kids and stuff like that at that age.
You can always do
Um
higher reps and lower weight, just to
and
keep it home, you know.
and that's what I mean. I just mean like this
Yeah.
the physical side that I'm keeping myself in, like the boxing, the golfing, the
Yeah.
running, the working out and doing all that every week. I'm probably going to start slowing that down when my kids start reaching an age of having basketball games to go to, having football games to go to, having golf matches to go to, whatever the case may be, whatever my kids end up doing. I'm probably going to like maybe do it less or maybe try to do something at my own home, like a build a home gym is like one of my at this like after doing the workout plan and doing this boxing program, I can say that like in my house, in the basement, in my man cave will be a room that has dumbbells, a bench, a squat, a boxing bag, a tier bag, like everything in there. So like I have no excuse to not do that. It's going to have like
Yeah.
speakers all around it
I
to
also want to build a home gym too, but
do
really with this program, all you need is a bench
dumbbells.
and a
Yeah.
dumbbell rack.
Yeah.
That's it.
That's and maybe a pull-up bar, but you can get one of
Oh,
those to
that's true.
just
Yeah.
go, you can
Yeah.
just get one of those to go on your door frame.
Yeah.